Whether you want to start a breeding colony or you simply want to know what to name your fish, you're going to have to know how to sex them. Hi, I'm Michelle from Quebec Cichlids, your local fish store in Terrebonne, Quebec, right outside of Montreal. Today, I am going to show you how to sex your fish. There are many ways to find out the sex of your fish. Usually people will vend their fish as a first method of sexing. I disagree. I think we should use it as a last method because it's very invasive. There are many other non-invasive ways of sexing your fish. I'll explain how to vent later on, but first of all, let's see these other methods. In most African cichlids, the male will be bigger than the female. On the contrary, in many Lake Tanganyika cichlids, such as the Julidochromis, the female will grow bigger than the male. It all depends on the species that you're keeping. A simple Google search will help you find out exactly what size the male and female will grow to. When you're shopping for your fish, don't use this as a factor to sex your fish. What appears to be the biggest fish to you was not the biggest fish to the client who passed right before you and took the actual first biggest fish. And that wasn't the biggest fish for him, and etc. So in a store, don't rely on this. If your cichlids are dimorphic, meaning that the males and the females have different colors, Google your fish's name and you'll be able to find what the male and the female look like, and that's it, you're done. Most Malawi cichlids are dimorphic. Some species of haps and peacocks will show colors only later on in life, whereas mbunas show their colors pretty young. Certain species of haps, like the Potomelas tenioratus, the red empress, will only show their colors after 2 years of age. Minimum. If you absolutely want a male or a female or you want to be able to sex them, buy bigger specimens and you should be able to tell the difference just by this method. For monomorphic species, meaning that the male and the female sports the same color, like Labidochromis caerulus, Pseudotrophis demasoni, Metria clima estere, and the list goes on, the differences are a lot more subtle and you're not going to be able to use this method adequately to sex your fish. Most African cichlids have egg spots. These can either be subtle blotches or round, clear spots. In certain species, only the males will have egg spots and the females won't. In others, both male and female will have egg spots. A simple Google image search could help you out with that. These are used as a diversion method. In the wild, when the cichlids are spawning, there are certain species of Cynodontis predators who might want to try and eat the eggs. Their attention will be diverted to the egg spots and they'll attack the male or female's anal fin instead. With age, an African cichlid's anal and dorsal fin will change shape. This is only applicable to adults and not to juveniles. Usually the male's fins will be more elongated, whereas the females will be rounder or square. By this point, if you're looking at color, size, fin shape, and egg spots, you should be able to differentiate most Malawi cichlids and certain Tanganyikans. The two best examples for body shape differences are the Sirtocara murai, the dolphin cichlid, and the Siphotilapia giberosa and frontosa, the frontosa. On top of the male being a lot bigger than the female and often having fins that go up to their tail, the males will also have a huge hump on their head. You will not be able to see this difference though in juvenile cichlids. Up to now, the methods I showed you are really applicable to adult cichlids. In juveniles, there are sometimes telltale signs, but it's impossible to guarantee a 100%. When selecting your fish, if you absolutely want a male, take a moment and look at the aquarium. If you're lucky, there will be one that stands out. He'll be chasing the others, digging holes, making makeshift caverns. That's your male. So like that one. You can't use this technique for females because they could either be a young female or a dominated male. This is pretty obvious, but I'm gonna put it in here anyways. So you got a bunch of fish and you have one that's pregnant, you know she's a female. But if you only have a couple of the species, keep in mind that the other one is not necessarily the male. They could hybridize with other species if you had two females. Of course, if you saw the male impregnating your female, well, do the math. Now we're up to the last method. If all else fails, do this. Venting is the action of looking at a fish's genitals in order to sex them. Most people don't do this at home. For me, it often happens that some clients ask me to do it right before bagging their fish. The female's genitals show two holes, with one bigger than the other. The bigger hole is the egg tube where the eggs come out, the other is her anus. The male's genitals show two holes of the same size. The pigmentation around the genitals is often different as well. The pigmentation in the skin around the female's genitals will be of lighter color, while the skin around the male's genitals is usually darker. It's very important to note that even though we have all these methods, it's not foolproof. Mistakes can be made. Sometimes a female can be mistaken for a male if she's showing a lot of colors. We can also mistake her if she's a late bloomer and while we're venting her, her genitals have not formed yet. A male can also pass as a female if he is very big but super dominated. Some males are also late bloomers and will have a rounder dorsal fin. Go figure. So be patient if your local fish store wasn't able to guarantee at 100% the sex of your fish. Mistakes can be made. We're only human. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up or a comment. Don't forget to sub to the channel. There's new content being uploaded every week. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and I have a great website where you can shop online and see my whole fish list. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.